Hi, I'm Johnny Marques, and welcome to the All Knowing Podcast. We all have people we admire, heroes, people we look up to, people we try to emulate. At the All Knowing, we look into people's personalities by using different systems such as numerology, astrology, and life charts. A deep dive in a persona, if you will. It is our hope that we can help break down what makes a person, who they are, their traits, their actions, and their possible beliefs. And in doing so, help you understand if you have similar virtues. If you like the show, don't forget to push like. Or if you have someone that you want us to do a life chart on, please leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching and enjoy the show. Hey there, welcome to another podcast of the All Knowing Experience. Thank you for joining us. And just a quick reminder, if you like the program, to push like and then also subscribe because it helps the program. Today we have Sally Faubion reading for us. Are you there, Sally?
Yes, I am.
All right, excellent. So today what we decided to do was go back into the entertainment field, and we have someone called Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanati, otherwise known as Lady Gaga. Born March 28th in New York City, Stephanie Germanati was a singer, songwriter, actress that started playing piano at 4 years old. And starting as a teen, she did open mic nights and studied acting, which I thought was interesting, at the Lee Strasberg Theater for 10 years. She also studied at NYU and dropped out to do singing on her own. She was given a break by Akon the singer, and she signed a recording deal in 2007 and hit it big time with her debut album called The Fame. So she was coached by legendary Don Lawrence up until this day, and she is a contralto, which is a certain range in your voice. And she got her name from a Queen song called Radio Gaga. So they liked the name, so thus became Lady Gaga. She's noted as the Queen of Pop, and she's valued at over 300 million. She's worked with greats such as Tony Bennett, Beyonce. She has over 124 million albums sold, 150 million singles sold. She's voted 100 of the most influential women in music. And her acting includes American Horror Story, which I believe she won an award for, A Star is Born, and recently House of Gucci. She is the first woman to win a Golden Globe, Academy Award, BAFTA, Grammy in the same year. She has 12 Grammy Awards, was a resident at MGM Las Vegas, has a vegan makeup company, numerous philanthropy projects, and just on and on and on. She's often controversial, but let's dive in and find out what makes Stephanie Germanati Lady Gaga. Sally?
Okay, I'll take it over. Lady Gaga, I mean, I love her chart because she is what you just described. I mean, she couldn't be any less. She could be more if, you know, she gave it time and had the time. She is double ones. She was born on a one day with a one destiny. Those are individuals who are the most innovative, individualistic, trailblazing people on the planet, like Stephen Jobs, like oh my gosh, now I'm wondering if I'm going to remember all of them, but there are few actually that have double ones like this. And she will be the boss. I mean, ones do not like to have a boss. They're what I call renegades. And that means that they don't necessarily care if they get married. They don't necessarily need to follow the dictates that everybody else does for society and that kind of thing. They have their own path that they carve out. And when they're in it to win it. They do not even go there unless they think they can win. And this when she was young, she already knew what she wanted to do. I mean, many times I see these double ones with people like, I think LeBron James and people like that who start out in basketball and then they just go there and just win and win and win because that's what they get in the game to do.
Right. I heard at 4 years old, she started playing piano. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, no, this she's brilliant. She has what's called a dharmic soul. I mean, she has everything filled in. She has so many letters in her name that she'd have to have all the numbers covered, actually. But she is also multi talented, according to the chart, from what she brought in with her. She has been highly independent, even in past incarnations, if you want to go there. Because that's what it shows in her chart. So coming into this life, I see that her greatest, she did go through a period from 36 to 44. Well, she's in that right now, where she does have some, well, maybe even something that goes with family or something like that, but a feeling that she's not getting exactly what she hoped to get from what she's doing or what's going on in her life. She will, however, be the most successful that she's ever been, starting with 45 and going through to the mid 50s and so on. So there's something that she will be planning while she's in this kind of, I'd say, a little bit of a closed down phase in some ways. I don't know whether that's evident to people who know her out there, but certainly that's what her chart shows right now, that there's some element that's kind of having her pull back a bit, but she's probably pulling back because she's got something going that nobody else has going, because that's what she could bring out.
I mean, after all, everything that I just listed, I mean, I think she's entitled to a break.
Yes, yes. And let me see, I'm going to go to the other side here and just see what it shows me here. Well, actually, what she's doing is she's learning something now. She's rather quite entrenched in learning. And so, and she's going to be a quick study, I would say, just because of who she, what she brings with her into this life. She's already probably been there, done that, unless it's something that's newly created on the planet, which she could do. She could do that. I mean, we're talking about people like Tesla, numbers like Tesla, for instance. She's got that kind of brain. Yeah.
I mean, she hits every field: music, acting, I mean, songwriting. I mean, she's such a dynamo. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then her motivation number from her numerological chart shows a 6, which is the number of humanitarianism. So she really has a hook in that area, to want to help people, to want to help animals, the earth, all of those kinds of things too. And she would do that because it's really, I mean, she takes all of these other numbers that she has that are so stellar, and individualistic. And then when she has her spare time, or what she dictates to the people who work for her, is to help others in some way, I would say. Always. I would think she has that on her mind more than what she does for herself in many ways. And she's pretty serious. The thing is, she, not at this point yet, but as she gets older, she's not going to allow herself to have much of a break. But that's what she put down for herself, so she's just going to be in it until she's probably crosses over because she's going to be working right up to the very end, let me tell you. And she'd have the energy to do that.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So do you think that these people tend to be, it's never enough? They always have, or are they content? Where's this coming from?
Well, I
Where's that
don't think she
desire?
knows how to operate in any other way. You know, the thing
Oh,
is for her, it's who she is, just totally 100% in her um, composition. So she cannot just be anything else other than that. I'm sure that when Tony Bennett first met her, because I mean, they sang a great many things together, and she was with him a great many times, that he just could see that he didn't have to really coach her or help her that much. I mean, she was going to get on that stage and do her thing and just be as smashing as he was, really.
right, right. I mean, even stories of, I think now Tony Bennett, I'm a huge fan of Tony Bennett. Uh,
Me too.
yeah,
Totally.
I mean, even a little bit more than Frank Sinatra, and
Oh,
fortunately,
me too.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Tony Bennett's retired now, but apparently their last show, he wasn't doing so well. And she just seemed to be a caretaker
Right.
and a loving soul. I mean, for anybody watching, there's a 60 Minutes profile on Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. And I'm telling you that it was amazing. And
Yeah, you're making me emotional just listening to it because I know how much that would be true. I mean, if she doesn't like somebody, boy, let me tell you, you may as well not even try. But when she does, she's full bore, you know.
right. She seems that she respects professionalism. I mean, all her training dictates that. She's well studied, acting, 10 years acting. I mean, there are a lot of things in learning about her that I didn't know. We just assumed that they just show up, but it's many, many years in preparation to get where she is. So very,
Yeah.
very interesting.
And, and she has rather a linear mind, you know, so it's not quite so like Tony Bennett has the number 3, which is the number of entertainment and art and that kind of thing. She's got the 1 and the 4. She's got double 1s and a 4. Those are uh, entrepreneurs, you know, so entrepreneurs that can create things like Stephen Jobs, who also had 1s, and people like that, you know. So she has that ability to I think summon up something just so instantaneously and know it's right for her or not, just immediately. And when it's right, she will make it happen and make it better than it might have been, is what I would see.
Right, right. I remember seeing so many stories that she seems to be the champion of the underdog of like anti-bullying and all that stuff. And if you're different, then that's okay. And it's one thing that just really caught my attention, that so many disenfranchised people who just wanted to be heard or feel like they mattered, and she really addressed them in or has been in her whole career. So I mean, and this A Star Is Born, I mean, was one of my favorite movies of the year that it came out. So I mean, there's nothing bad that I can say about her. Just really an admiration of her professionalism. And
Oh, and she's also very private, you know, with 1s. They don't tell people much about themselves. I mean, they don't sit down and chit chat like women tend to do with one another and so on. She would keep her cards very close to her chest, and most people would find her to be a bit of a mystery in many respects. But she's also an extraordinarily evolved spirit that's here. So obviously, you know, I mean, when she comes in and then just does it, you know, with everything she tries, she brought a lot with her onto this planet at the time. And then she was
so
the only child, which helped probably for her to excel as she did, because she got all the attention, perhaps.
incredible. So you're saying going forward, there's many more things. It's just going to get bigger and better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, oh, yes, absolutely. Actually, I think she's going to deliver something that most people, I mean, maybe we don't even know exists, actually, because that's the kind of mind that she would have. I mean, if you can think of her in comparison to, let's say, Tesla, I mean, he was just a genius beyond genius, you know, basically. But of his era, they didn't give him the accolades that she will get for doing what she can do, because she can come up with innovations and all different types of concepts, and maybe even songs and entertainment ways to have people, composers, or also what do the people do that are the that have plays and so on, that the producers of plays and so on, but not the producers, but the guys that have the actors doing what they do. What are they
Right,
called?
right. Like screenwriters and script people and all
Well,
that.
yeah, but more the people that orchestrate to get everything in place. Okay, that's what she has going for her. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
she's the bottom line, and the buck stops with her in her life, I would say. I mean, not mean like by any means, but that she's really, she can ferret out the people who she knows will be in her camp and be who she can trust. She can absolutely sense that, I would say, with what I see in
So
her.
you think a little bit intuitive?
Highly, highly
Very
intuitive,
intuitive.
highly intuitive. Yes.
Yeah. She seems like that.
Yeah, no. She can look across the room and say, okay, I ain't going there. I mean, she could just look at something and know that doesn't work for me, and so on. Very, very quickly.
Right.
But
So
she's
let
a
me
bottom
let me
line.
so let
She's
me
a
ask you this. If she was sitting in front of you right now, what advice would you give her?
wow. I would just be so impressed. I wouldn't know that I have a thing to tell her, because she's got it all figured out. I mean, I wouldn't have to advise her about anything, because if she's interested, if she's not interested, she isn't going there. But if she's interested, she will go full bore and come out a winner, because she's not even going to get in the game unless she feels she can win. That's who she is.
Excellent.
I'd say 100%, and a very hard worker. And because her name is the 4, which is the number of honesty, and sometimes very bluntly so. However, the ones know how to keep what they feel they need to keep to themselves without creating some kind of, controversy or harm or discouragement or whatever it might be. The 4 with her friends, though, they know that she's going to speak her truth, and it's going to come right from just instantaneously when she feels something. I happen to have a 4 myself, so I know what the 4 is. But it's a number of honesty, is what it is.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, that's great. I mean, a nice little report that you did on Lady Gaga. So I wanted to thank Sally Faubion for the read, and also wanted to remind you that if you like the show, to hit it down below. Also, if you'd like to subscribe, it would help us out. And thanks again, Sally. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. This was wonderful to do Lady Gaga.
Great. Thanks, everyone.